college that hosted the writers' conference was nestled beside woods so deep the air felt damp and smelled of frogs. Nearly 2 years without students there, the school had been partially reabsorbed. Vines dropped like spider silk from lampposts, snaked across the walkways connecting dorm to lecture hall. Beside the path to the bookstore, someone pulled a rubber Chewbacca mask over a tree stump in what felt like a nod to the bears. In her welcome letter, the conference director expressed gratitude we could meet again in person. She was enthusiastic about a return to beloved traditions lost to online formats, the mid-conference bonfire, quick dips in the creek, but there was also a hint of danger in her repeated suggestion that attendees adopt buddy systems and not forget their flashlights. Bears had the run of campus for most of the pandemic and were now turning up where they shouldn't. Body slamming vending machines, overturning trash cans outside the dining hall, leaving uncoiled curly fries in their wake. I didn't agree to bears, Izzy said. Izzy was a 40-something makeup artist from Los Angeles. She knew how to turn people into zombies or make them appear to have been impaled by unlikely projectiles. She'd been married to the same man for 20 years and had 3 children. She was a poet who wrote sonnets exclusively because, she said, she enjoyed constraints. I need a formal structure, Izzy explained, or I lose focus. I was a 50-something who'd been working on a novel for longer than I cared to admit. I'd never married, had no children, but I'd been in love once, with a mathematician who spoke about numbers in a way that felt poetic. I met Izzy on day 1 of the conference. She'd been sitting with a group of poets from her workshop, picking olives from a pizza slice, listening to them complain about the state of disrepair on campus. The windows don't open in my room, someone said. A collective grumbling ensued. There was no air conditioning in the dorms. The only bathroom just off the main lecture hall had a beehive under one of the sinks. The poets hypothesized about reasons for the school's clear decline. The pandemic, they said, obviously. And shrinking endowments, someone suggested. The liberal arts are under assault, said another. Whatever the reasons, we ate our cafeteria lunch while the school actively decomposed around us. There was a mysterious stain on the chair that went with the desk in my room. Something dark had pooled there. I imagined the undergraduates who'd inhabited this space and threw a towel over the stain, felt lucky my windows opened. I'd forged the fan from the basement because it was so hot, breathing felt like something I was doing with a sweater tied around my face. A cold shower sounded good, so I set out, down the hallway with a sense of purpose and optimism. It wasn't until I was standing there in only my shower cap that I realized they were out of order. My body was so slick with sweat, my flip-flops farted as I made my way back to my room. I sat on the windowsill, in my underwear, feeling grateful to be there. Izzy texted to ask if I was ready to walk over to the bonfire. We were equally uneasy about the bears and had chosen each other as buddies the moment this fact made itself known. We also ate our meals together and laughed easily. At night, when the air outside was cooler, we rocked on a porch swing under a light that buzzed with insects and wattage. We stared across the lawn to where the woods began, imagining the bears chuffing and pawing there. Izzy talked about constraints, and I listened. She liked knowing her work would force itself like a weed through a sidewalk's crack. It hadn't occurred to me that structure could liberate. When I thought of constraints, I thought of marriage and setting the table for dinner. I imagined listening to the mathematician solve for X, while ideas for my novel appeared like stray socks, becoming things I'd never know what to do with. We set out for the bonfire, holding our flashlights as if we might need to use them as clubs. Overhead lights blinkered or were out altogether. We heard voices and followed them, but found only an empty parking lot and boarded-up building. Like a scene from a horror movie, we stood there, encircled by the breathing dark. Our eyes squinted in anticipation, chainsaw-wielding killer or bear, we didn't know what. Which one of us is the smart one, Izzy asked. Everything was cinema, and she knew the rules. The dumb one would be the first to go. We looked at each other, laughed uncomfortably, unable to tell who was who.
Yes!